Hello viewers, welcome to our UNC digital class. Today I am going to discuss an important topic of database system, that is relational model concept. As earlier we have discussed the different types of data model, that is network or hierarchical data model, relational data model and your entity relationship data model. So, from these the relational data model is the most important model for the database system, which was introduced by the scientist E.F. Code in 1970. So, let us discuss first some basic terminology of relational data model concept. Okay? The basic terminology relational data model is what in which data are arranged in a table format. The basic terminology for relational data model is that is relation. In relation, data are arranged in a table format, that is in row and column format. So, first basic terminology is relation. It is the table, it is a table where data are arranged in a row and column wise. Okay? Row and column format. Let us see one example. Suppose let us consider student is a relation. As we know that in a relation data are arranged in a table format. So, this relation must have some row and column where we need to store our data. The table contain name, role, mark, address, registration number, email ID. These are the field of the table. So, this is the example of relation. In this table we must store some data. Suppose name of the student is John, role is 1, mark 50, address etc, registration number 1, 2, 3, 4, A1 and next email is your suppose john@yahoo.com. Similarly, we can input another 2 data in the table. So, this is a student relation having 3 datas of student, that is John, Smith and John, and these are the roll number, mark, address, registration number and email. Then next we will see the second terminology, that is tuple. Okay? So, tuple is what? All the rows in a relation or the rows of the relation is known as the tuple of a relation. The rows of the relation are called as tuple of a relation or table. Okay? That means here we have 3 tuples because the student relation contain 3 rows. These 3 rows are called as the tuple of the relation. These are the tuple of the relation. Okay? These are the tuple of the relation. Next terminology is attribute. Okay? Attribute means the column of the relation or table are called as attribute of that relation. Attributes of that relation. Okay. In this student relation we have name attribute, role attribute, mark attribute, address attribute, registration number and email, because these are the column of the table. So, example, name, role, mark, these are the attribute of the relation. Okay. Next terminology is your degree of relation. Degree of a relation. The degree of relation means the number of attribute. Okay. The number of attribute in a relation is known as the degree of relation. The number of attributes present in a relation is called degree of that relation. Degree of a relation. So, in this student relation, so we have an example. In student relation, the degree of student relation is the number of attribute name, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The student relation of degree 6. Okay. Next we will know next terminology, that is your cardinality of a relation. Cardinality of a relation. In case of cardinality, the number of tuples or the number of rows in a relation is called cardinality of that relation. Is called cardinality of that relation. So, example, the cardinality of student relation is 1, 2, 3, because we have 3 tuples or 3 rows in the student relation. So, cardinality of student relation is 3 and degree of student relation is 6, because we have 6 attribute in student relation. So, the degree is 6. And we have 3 rows in student relation, that is why we have the cardinality of that relation is 3. Okay. Let us see some properties of relation. So, the first property is properties of relational model or in database. The first property is the name of the relation must be distinct. This is the first property. Name of the relation must be distinct. That means what? In a database, we may have more than one relation, because we know that database is the collection of related data and these related data are present in different relations or in different tables. So, in a relation, the name of each relation must be distinct. Next property is the column entries are of same type. Column entries are of same type. It means what? See here, the name column, all the names are of Varchar type. That means John, Smith, John are of same type, that is Varchar. In roll column, all the values are of same type, that is number. So, the second property is the column entries are of same type. All the column entries are of same type. The third property is the name of the column must be distinct. That means with the same name, that means we have a name attribute, and with the same name, that means we can't add another name attribute with the student relation. The name of the column must be distinct in a relation, right? in a relation the name of the column must be distinct, right. Then next one is the fourth. All the tuples in a relation must be distinct, right. That means what? We have a tuple that is John 3, 50, CTC and registration is 125C1 and john123@yahoo.com is the mail ID. With the same value of all column, we can't add another tuple, that is John 3, 50, CTC 125C1, then Yahoo, then john123@yahoo.com. Okay. It cannot be added to the relation student because all tuples in a relation must be distinct. As we already have a tuple with same values, that's why we can't add this tuple to our relation according to the property number 4. Okay. Then the last property, each column has an atomic value. Okay. So that means this column must contain a single value for all the tuples. So either you placed 50 or 60. Okay. So this is all about properties of relational model. The name of the relation must be distinct. Then second, the column entries are of same type. Third, the name of the column must be distinct in a relation. All the tuples in a relation must be distinct. And the last, each column has an atomic values. Okay. Then next we will know what is view table, right. View table means it is a virtual table which does not have any physical existence. That means it does not exist really, and this table is derived from some underlying existing tables, some base table. That means view table means it is a virtual table which does not really exist. It is derived from one or more underlying tables or relation, right. Let us see the example. Suppose one want to view the student information having roll 2 or 3 or both, right. So in that case the virtual table will contain these two information about the students. That means that result is derived from a underlying or from the existing table. So that is called a view table. So it does not have any physical existence or it does not really exist. It is derived from the existing table. It contains only 2 rows and these 2 rows containing the data of the student, that is name, roll, mark, address, registration number and email ID. So the 2 student informations are exist in the view table, that is Smith and John, that is 2 and 3, mark is 60, 50, BBSR. We can say this is basically used for storing the result, or result are stored in the virtual table or in the view tables, right. Next we will discuss the DBMS key. Okay. So DBMS key means an attribute or set of attribute which helps for uniquely identifying a row of record or tuples in a relation. Okay. So next we will know what is the requirement of this DBMS keys or what is the need of DBMS keys. The DBMS keys are basically used to identify a particular tuple in a relation first. Second, these keys are used to maintain the data integrity in a relation. Third, by using this key, we can establish a relationship between the relation by using the keys of the DBMS. So, first need is identify a particular row of record or tuple in a relation. Okay. Then second, maintaining data integrity in a relation. Third, establish a relationship between the relation through the keys. Okay. So, these are the needs of the DBMS keys. Okay. Next, we will know different keys of DBMS. There are different types of DBMS keys. These are super key, then your candidate key, primary key, alternate key, and last one is your foreign key. Okay, let us discuss on super key. Super key is what? It is the minimal subset of keys in which all possible combination of keys are included. Okay. Let us see about the super key. It is the superset of keys in which all possible combination of keys are included. Okay. Let us see the example. In student relation, the roll number may be a super key because by using this key we can uniquely identify a particular tuple in a relation, because as per the definition, super key is the key which is used to uniquely identify a record or a tuple in a relation. So, by using roll number, we can uniquely identify a particular student information. Similarly, by using registration number, we can also uniquely identify a student record. Similarly, by using email, we can also uniquely identify a student record. So, our super keys are roll, registration number, and is your email key. And also, by the combination of this key, we can also form another super keys, or by pairing this key we can form the another some super keys, that is roll number, registration number is the another super key, and similarly registration number, email is another super key, and roll, email is another super key. Okay. Again, by combining these three, that is roll, registration number and email, it will form another super key. Okay. So, these are the example of super key. So, let us define the super key. An attribute or set of attributes which can be used to uniquely identify a particular tuple or a row of record in a relation is called super key. Okay, and these are the example of the super key. You can consider any one as a super key. Okay, then next we will be discuss, that is your candidate key. Okay, that is your candidate key. A candidate key means it is a minimal subset of super key. Okay, it is a minimal subset of super key. Okay, a relation schema may have one or more key, right? And each key in a relation is a candidate key. Okay, let us see one example. That is, it is minimal of super key. That means what? See, the role registration number, email, the minimal of role registration number, email, that is role registration number, email. And similarly, the minimal of super key is role registration number and email. But a relation schema may have one or more key. That means in this relation, these are the key: role, registration number, email. One or more key, that is roll number is one key, registration number is one key, and email is one key. Each key is considered as the candidate key. These are the candidate key of the student relation. The next point, if a proper subset of super key is a super key, then it cannot be a candidate key. Okay, so let us see the example. See, this is a super key as we already discussed, and these are also the super key. This is a super key, and this role, registration number, email, role, email, these are also one super key. As the book definition, if a proper subset of super key is a super key, then it cannot be a candidate key. Let us see the example. If proper subset of super key is a super key, then it cannot be a candidate key. This is a super key, and this one is the subset of this super key. So this is not a candidate key. Similarly, this is the subset of this super key. So this is not a candidate key. In the same process, these are also not candidate key. So these are not the candidate key, and these are only the candidate key of the student relation. Okay. Then next we will discuss the primary key of the DBMS. Okay. Let us see primary key. Primary key means what? Primary key is a candidate key, and choose to uniquely identify each row of the data in a table. We know that these are the candidate key of the student relation. Among these candidate key, one is to be chosen as the primary key. That is role, registration number and email. From these we can choose one as a primary key. Second, no two rows can have same primary key value. That means if we choose roll number as the primary key among this candidate key, then it says no two rows. That means the two row, that is the tuple 1 and tuple 2, cannot have same value for the role attribute. Okay. Then next point, primary key value cannot be null. Okay. Primary key value cannot be null. That means what? When the user or the DBA is unknown about the value of a particular attribute for a particular tuple, in that case the DBA may put null value for that particular attribute for that particular tuple. Okay. So that is called as the null value. So, primary key constraint says the primary key value cannot be null. That means we cannot put the value of roll number as null. It should be not null. That means we must put a value for roll number attribute for each and every tuple. Then and every row must have a primary key value. It should be not null. Okay. Alternate key is what? It is also a candidate key. It is also a candidate key which is not selected as primary key. That means what? From the candidate key, DBA will choose one as the primary key. Suppose roll number is chosen as the primary key from this candidate key. Then the rest of the candidate keys, that is registration number and email, are chosen as the alternate key. Okay. So, registration number and email as the candidate key if roll number is chosen as the primary key. Okay. Let us see what is foreign key. We have two tables, that is student table and next is your department table, right. So, the student table containing attribute name, role, department name, that is D name, and department table containing attribute D name and D location. Foreign key means what? It is an attribute in a table which is used to define its relationship with another table. That means this key is used to establish relationship between the tables or relations. That means here the D name attribute is used to establish the relationship between student and department table, and this foreign key is basically used to maintain the data integrity in the relation. That means how we will maintain the integrity? See, in the student table, the student having department name BCA, BBA, Computer Science. If here I am adding a new tuple, suppose the name is James, roll number 4 and department suppose MFC. It may violate the integrity of the relation. That means what? MFC, the name of the department, is not exist in the department table. So, if I mention the name of the department for a particular student MFC, then it will be violate the integrity property of the relation. Okay. So, this tuple will not be exist in the student table because we do not have any MFC department in the department table. So, in this way these two tables are related by using the foreign key D name. It helps in maintaining data integrity for the tables in a relationship. So, this is all about your DBMS keys. Hope students you understood today's lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.